Welcome to another segment of Spill the Tea. This is for real estate agents who are new, hungry, and figuring it out. On this show, we bring you honest stories from agents and investors in the field, and you'll get advice that you can actually use from our mistakes, the awkward moments, and the PTSD that nobody tells you about when you first get licensed. I'm Cynthia Day.
And I'm Anna Cantu.
And we're the founders of Day and Cantu Luxury Homes right here in Texas. And so we work luxury, but we got started exactly where you are. So let's get into it.
Yeah, so we have our guest of honor, Clyde Camp. Hi, Clyde.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. So he is a real estate investor and a builder who turned early financial struggles into building high-end homes and investing in luxury projects. So tell us, what market you're in and how you got started in real estate investing, Clyde.
Okay, yeah, sure. I am in the North Dallas real estate market. We enjoy doing and mostly buying houses, remodeling houses as well for other people, other investors, as well as building homes for some clients.
And how did you get started? What made you become an investor?
So I knew at a very young age that I was going to be in the real estate world. When I was growing up, we didn't really have very much, and my family always said, "Hey, try to find something that you're going to actually excel in and make decent amount of money and own your own business." And so, as I looked around people in my church and our family, friends, most of them were all in real estate. And so I was like, okay, I want to get in real estate, but I thought I wanted to be a realtor. And then it wasn't until there was a show called Flip This House with the couple down in Austin, San Antonio.
I
They were doing
remember
this
that
house, that
show.
that's what I want to do, right? And so after that, I started seeking out different ways to learn it as much as I can. Joined a seminar, learned as much as I can, jumped right in, spent a lot of money that I didn't have, literally paid off all of our debt, and then went back into debt getting a $30,000 basic loan to go to a seminar to learn how to do this stuff. And from that, moved down to Texas because I was in Arkansas at the time, and started walking through and shadowing other people, getting motivated. That was the main thing, getting motivated, being around other people. And then after that, after I saw how well they could do it, I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. There were some young kids that were like 17, 18 that was wholesaling, making great money at the time. And I said, if they can do it, and I got a college education and I'm older, and sure enough, I'm better looking. So, I can do it too, right? And so it worked out. And yeah, it's been good. Not always cupcakes and ding dongs, but definitely love what I do and I enjoy it.
I love
He's not conceited, y'all, just convinced.
Yeah, that's it.
Got
I'm
the looks.
confident.
Okay, so now it's time to spill the tea. So tell us like a funny or crazy story of, one of your recent deals or something that happened during the time that you've been doing investing.
One of those situations was just about, I think it was about a year and a half ago. One of my guys came, I usually pay my guys on Saturday so they show up, right? And so I came to the property, I had my two kids, and we're walking around the house. I asked the tile guys, hey, where's your boss? And they said, well, he went to Home Depot, he'll be back. So by the time we're leaving, me and the kids, I'm getting them in the car. I see him pull up. We run upstairs. I tell him, ask him a few questions. I stand up, and unfortunately, he had a massive heart attack. That
Oh my
scared the
gosh.
shit out of me. Yes, scared the
Oh,
shit out of me. I was like, I didn't know what to do. You always know to dial 911, right?
right.
But until somebody literally drops on you like that. His wife called me almost 2 years later and said, hey, have you sold the house? Is it okay if we go by to pray? And then literally the craziest thing, that was a Saturday. Monday, we got three offers. It was
Wow.
Wow.
crazy
See,
after a year
now
and a half.
that's the power of Jesus, y'all.
It really is. Luckily, it's done. It's gone. It's been purified, sanctified, holified, and it's sold. Been blessed already, so they should be having a hallelujah good time in there.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh my God.
Yes. So
Well,
that's probably the craziest thing that's happened.
mhm.
Um, you never know what you're going to run into when you're dealing with people, and that also goes to show you as well that, when that happened, the police called me after I let everybody leave. And I asked the EMT, you guys need a statement? They said no. I said, okay. So I left, not knowing that 2.5, 3 hours later, the police would call me and demand me to be back there.
Oh
And
wow.
so I went back, and there was 8 police officers with the captain there, basically interrogating me. And thank God that day I had 13 different guys working, because they did interrogate me to the point to where I felt like they were trying to pin something on me. And it was a one phone call that one of the police officers got that said, I just heard his response, which was, yeah, okay, so you're telling me the whole house had other guys here? And they said, yes. It was like, okay, cool. And when he hung up, he told the captain, hey, this house was full. He wasn't the only person here. And after that, boom, they left. No further questions. They just said, keep your phone handy if you need to. But that really made me think, as minorities, being at the wrong place at the wrong time could cost
Mhm.
you a lot. You know, so always, think about that when we're out, when we're doing anything, when we're working, because you just never know. You know,
You never know when you need a witness.
100%.
Well, God was your witness that day, it sounds like.
Absolutely, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, so let's go into something more lighter.
That
So
was pretty
as a
heavy.
yeah, as a seasoned investor now, what would you do differently if you were starting over?
The number one thing that I would do is really get out of my head. A lot of times you'll know what you need to do, but at the end of the day, you just don't do it because of fear, because of the lack of knowledge, and because you're just like, you're fearful. You don't know what to do or what to expect. Get out of your head, do what you need to do, keep rocking and rolling, get around the right people, do it quick, do it fast, and do it with intensity.
Mm,
Mm. Do it now, do it now, do it now.
mindset, mindset, mindset.
Exactly.
I like that. Okay, so the last thing we want to know from you, because we see you at a project there, and before we got into the recording, there were some amazing views. So tell us about what current project you're flipping now, and what do you want people to know about it?
I've got a project right now that I've got that we're going to start building. Majority of this stuff I slowed down a lot the end of last year. So right now I've got a sub two deal. I've got a deal that we're actually, which is really creative. I'm actually teaming up with a lady that had started building a house, and then that was back in 2019. It stopped mid construction because their contractors ran off. She was going to move into it with her siblings, but they all passed away.
Oh
So it's
my
like all these crazy
gosh.
things happening, right? But
Yeah.
what we're going to do is tear that particular house down, because it really needed to be about 4,000 square foot for us to be able to, get the value we need, which is about 1.4 million. And so we're going to team up with her rather than buy it from her. We're going to team up with her. She's going to place the property in our company name. We'll get a loan against it, and then we'll build it out and then pay her on the back end. So it's more like a co-op partnership. And then we're going to build the house out, which will be really cool, because I've never done a creative, you know, kind of purchase that way. There's so many different ways of real estate and how to acquire and all of that stuff. That's the one thing that I like to tell a lot of my students is, hey, I do fix and flip mainly, but I also do building mainly. But I also started in the business on short sales and knowing how to do sub twos. So now when I meet a homeowner, we're kind of like Batman in a sense. If it doesn't necessarily fit the fix and flip model because it's 90+%, of the ARV, then we're able to go head on and look at it as potentially a sub two deal, creative finance subject to the existing mortgage staying in place. Or maybe they're upside down or having a hardship. So now we can look at it as a short sell. And rather than me doing the short sell like I used to, I could go head on and pass that over to a realtor like you guys, who will just go head on, take in our offer, submit it with the bank, and then we'll just wait, 4 to 6 months if it takes that long. Sometimes it takes only 2 or 3 months. So now you have not only one strategy, but you have 5 or 6 different strategies in your tool belt, and you'd be like Batman or the Matrix.
I like that.
So,
The
it
Matrix.
works out really well. So, yeah, man, those are some cool things that we got going on.
Thank you so much, Clyde, for joining us today. I mean, we thoroughly enjoyed having you. We loved learning from you. We loved laughing with you today. So quick question, Clyde, because I mean, you are really in this business to educate and to teach, right? You are definitely an avid coach. How can we all get a hold of you?
Well, my Instagram, which is Fix and Flip Dallas, is good. Get in touch with me and we'll rock and roll from there.
Boom, shakalaka. Well, final question for you, Clyde. I mean, what if your clothes actually started real estate conversations for you?
I would love that. That would be great.
Yeah,
We were talking about that last night, actually. I really need to start branding. That's for sure.
there you go. So, most agents, they struggle with starting conversations. And so that's where Clear to Close actually comes in. We create simple, very clean merchandise, as you see here, that gets people to ask what you do so that you don't have to force it. It doesn't sound awkward. There's no scripts, there's no pressure, just real conversations. Because your next deal isn't always going to be online, right? It might be standing right next to you. So, you guys check out cleartoclose.shop and start wearing your lead generation.